Welcome to Collingwood Connection. This is the Fossil down at Patterson Lakes. Just talking about yesterday afternoon's record-breaking game by Pendles. We had a great crowd. There was 90,028 Collingwood fans going absolutely mad to see the great man. Collingwood played the Eagles. In the first quarter, the Pies kicked 2 goals 6, which seems to be a bit of a problem. We always have one of these quarters where we have plenty to pill, but we can't put the sides away. To the Eagles, 3 goals 2. Early on in the game, the Eagles were playing all over Collingwood. They had 19 to 11 inside 50s in the first quarter, which I think was nearly a record. But yeah, so we were very lucky that they probably didn't score more goals themselves. But when we got the ball up forward, we seemed to be having a lot of trouble. There was no connection in our forward line whatsoever. Guys were going up for marks, they were spoiling one another, and it wasn't a good look at all. And fortunately, Lipinski grabbed one from the boundary line and snapped it straight through, which was a nice goal. You know, we just seemed to turn the ball over early. We were giving the Eagles a couple of easy goals and good looks, so it wasn't a good start at all. You know, I think it just amazes me how they can kick these goals from the boundary line and do all these banana kicks, and they go straight through the middle. You get them 30 or 40 out straight in front and fair nick them. Half of them, they couldn't hit the side of a barn door. I'll tell you what, it was very ordinary. But we're lucky that the back line was playing well. Frampton, Quinnar, playing great football in defence. Howie, he was punching the ball further than half the blokes could kick it, and they were doing a really good job in keeping us in the game. Young Williams, he got on top of Cameron early and gave the Eagles first look, and I think that's why we're getting sort of beaten in midfield, and it makes a big difference. But the Pies stuck there, but 2 goals 6 wasn't a good start. The Goey, Dacos, young Steele, I think he's going to be an absolute ripper. He seems to be getting more confidence with every game he plays. He covers the ground well, and Quinnar in defence was up to his usual best. You know, he's a beautiful mark, good judge, and a nice kick. So in the first quarter, the Pies were 2 goals 6 to 3 goals 3. In the second quarter, we started off okay. Moore, Howe, Frampton, you know, were taking strong marks in defence and sort of was attacking from there. But our field kicking was very poor again, and instead of putting the ball out in front and leading for the ball, we seemed to be kicking the players that are standing still, and they're waiting for the ball to come, and the Eagles' defence just punch the ball away. So that's something we will probably sharpen up on. Key forwards, when we did get the chance down there, we seemed to be spoiling one another, and a couple of times the pill went over the back, but there was nobody there, so you know, it makes it a bit hard. And when they did lead up the ground and we got the ball, especially McStay, poor old Westy, he had two big tall defenders on him, so it made it very hard. So we're going to have to do something about that forward line setup. We badly need probably more of a stay-at-home forward, you know, somebody like in the Cox mould. At least he was a target, and if he couldn't mark the ball, they could knock it to ground. So I think in the off-season, the Pies are going to have to really have a good look, you know, at probably getting a key forward if they can. Steele kicked a great goal for Collingwood, and Dacos, DeGoey, Cripps having a really good game, Frampton, and then Cameron started to get on top of the young ruckman, so it gave us a bit of a look. But in that quarter, we kicked 4 goals 3 to 2 goals 3, so it wasn't too bad. But at half time, Cripps, Cameron, Frampton and Quinnar, like I said, were all doing a good job. In the third quarter, we started to get going, got the crowd up and about, and we got out, we kicked 3 or 4 goals fairly quickly and got out to a nice 29-point lead. And I think our pressure on the ball and the turnovers was half the reason why we did score well. I think the Pies' tackling was really good. I think we had 12 to 1 inside 50s with the tackling, so you couldn't criticise their defensive side at all. And inside 50s early, I think we had 4 to 1 early in the term, and like I said, we got out to that 29-point lead. Cameron was having a great quarter, strong marking and good ruck work, whether mainly in defence to help the guys out. But yeah, Moore's injury wasn't good either, so I don't know what they're going to do with Morey. I think he just sort of can't get 2 or 3 games together, so I think we might have to put him out in the paddock and have a bit of a spell, but we'll wait and see what happens there. Elliott was starting to come into the game. got away and kicked a couple of great goals. But unfortunately he got injured too, so I don't know how bad it is, but it didn't look too good on the tally. So Collingwood at three-quarter time, we led by 11 points. Dacos again and Cameron to go in. Elliott was starting to find a bit of form. You know, he kicked 3 goals, and but it was just one of those unfortunate things that happens in football. So looks like next week we're going to lose more Elliott and young Hayes. I think he done his shoulder, so there could be up to 3 or 4 changes, but we'll wait and see what happens next week. So in the fourth quarter, she was on for young and old. Got fairly tight. We were lucky too. I think West Coast had a couple of easy chances, and thank God they missed, or else they could have been in front. Steele kicked a great goal, which sort of steadied the ship a little bit. And also McQuarrie, he had a couple of really strong tackles. West Coast were out and about, but he had a couple of really good tackles which stopped them in their tracks. And Mastay had a great snap for goal, and that sort of steadied us a little bit. But I think we sort of struggled a bit. Like West Coast, they use the ground pretty well and wide, and they moved the ball fairly quickly. But we were lucky enough when the final siren went, we were still 10 points up. So it was a great result for the great man for his milestone game. But like I said, next week I think like Dacos, Cameron, Cripps, they sort of kept us instead and kept us in front. So, but it wasn't a flashy win, but we got the 4 points. That's the main thing for Pendles' game, and I'm sure you all know by now Pendles was number 10. He played 4-3-3, which is 10, and we won by 10 points, which is absolutely unbelievable, but that's the way it falls sometimes. So to those guys that got injured, we all hope that they get a speed recovery, but that might open up the door for Swadley and maybe Anderson and Howes and these sort of guys. Memory might be a chance too if he's fit, because he seems to play all right at after playing with St Kilda there. I think he had his best game early in the season when he kicked more goals. So they've got a few to choose from, but I'm sure they'll work it out through the week. And just to finish up too, I heard a little story that Essendon of RCAFL, can they play at Marvel at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and the reason being, I think they're going to see you can get the bigger crowd. The Essendon playing at 10 o'clock at Marvel on Sunday morning, or the church across the road. Now, it's I don't know whether it's a true story, but I'm sure one of the Pies guys out there will let us know. But anyway, so that's the way it goes. I gave Nick Dacos 34 possessions, 3 goals. What more could the man do? Cameron, 28 disposals, 27 hit-outs. I gave him the 2 votes. And the 1 vote I gave to Crispy, I thought he was really good. He was hard at the ball. He had 28 and 9 tackles, so you couldn't fault those 3 at all. And in the predictions, I picked the Pies to win by 49, but I was a bit out there. We only got up by 10. And I had Joshy to have 31, but he only had 18. But I had Elliott to kick 4, and he had 3 on the board, and I think if he hadn't been injured, he might have got the 4, so the old fossil, he was a bit stiff there. But anyway, that's the way it goes. We got the 4 points, so we've got a big game against the Dogs next week at Etihad Stadium, so hopefully the boys can get up and about and get another win on the board. So so that's it for the wrap-up of the Collingwood game. But and don't forget to like us on, subscribe on our channel. Love to hear your thoughts about the game. And also like our Facebook page, Flag Pies. And that's all for this week, guys. And we'll see you later on in the week to talk about the Dogs and the Pies. Thank you. See ya.